So hello, welcome back to the channel. Hopefully this video is going to record this time. I spent all of yesterday, I won't say all of yesterday, a majority of yesterday filming this video and then forgot to press the capture button. So I had a good chat with myself. As you can see, we set a 136.1 at Zandvoort in the Aston Martin. And I'm going to revisit this today, and hopefully you'll get to see how the car's set up. I'm not particularly happy 136.1. In the Ferrari I'm in the 135.6s, so we've got a full half second there somewhere in the setup. One thing I did cover yesterday is the special events. And as I was just reading on this yesterday, and just on the left hand side there, it says special events are usually updated on a monthly basis. Well, I'm sure we're about 6 months into this game now, and we're still waiting to finish season 1. So as and when, I think we're all ready for season 2. A few people still messaging me a bit about setups for some of these, which I've done all of them. I think they are all available, the setups, on the SetSpace website. So if you are interested in competing in any of these, I'm sure you'll find my setup available on the SetSpace website. If you just search through Refine and go down to the Xbox section, you'll see the console setups. I'm sure the games do differ somewhat on PC to console, so I'll still keep adding when I do a setup on there that it's being created in now 1.5.4 1976-68. But yeah, let's get on with doing the setup. So the car we're going to be using is the beautiful V8. Just have a quick look around. I do it does annoy me, some of the things on this screen, especially the tyres. They still don't seem to have got the Pirelli in line just at the top of the tyre there. I just wonder why it looks so blurry. And then the bit of dirt down in the right hand section of the bonnet vent, it does look a little bit more authentic, I guess, but it is a very nice looking car. I do like the livery on this one, especially this view and the next view really do the car some justice. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's start getting this car set up. And although I did do the setup yesterday, as you can see in my preferred race weekend, I'll do this hour session. And another thing I did mention in yesterday's video, which I didn't record, was the audio. Something that I got from Niles Newjack's website. He goes into the audio settings. These are his settings that I've started to use, and they do make a big difference, I think, to what you hear as a driver. So I definitely recommend doing those. And the control settings, the steering lock for the Aston Martin is 640. Someone did ask the other day as well what my force feedback settings are. So sensitivity I've got at 640, feedback is at 150, shock is off, ABS is on 60, drift mode is -1, brake force is set to 10, and probably very specific to how you've got your pedals set up. The EFF int is at 10, and the MPS is at constant, which I don't know what that does actually, so if anyone wants to mention about constant and pulse, I'd be interested to hear about that. So yeah, let's get into this. Let's get on with this setup. I'll start again using the aggressive setup. I don't think I'd like to revisit the setup that I did yesterday because I wasn't particularly happy with it. And I think when you spend an evening away from a setup, you get to think about what you've gone wrong during that setup and where you could have bettered it. And so I'd like to start the setup again anyway, to be honest. And we'll just dial out issues as and when they arise. It is first thing in the morning, so I've not yet turned on the console and had a drive, so just waking up, I guess. So a few things that we will just look over. The traction control, I definitely adjusted this to 3 and 6, and we'll just put the fuel and the brakes to 1 as per usual. And I didn't particularly like how unresponsive the car was, and the brake balance, I'll set that to 67 straight away, because I know it was just too oversteery on the brake, but everything else I'll just leave as it was, and we'll try and adjust things as we go. So let's get on with it then. It didn't feel bad right from the very off in this car, to be honest. Always feels very slow to pick up. I do favour driving the Ferrari, to be honest. At the moment. So we're oversteering on corner entry still. It's all about the brake pedal through here. Just getting the car to rotate and really on the edge of grip. Another corner that's quite tricky coming up. Generally don't run too much inside curb. And just a little lift as you go into there and then plant back on the power. So just scrubbing speed all the way through there really. A little bit late there really on the brake pedal. I think these other cars are just going to get in our way, so I'll just use this as an exercise to get the tyre pressures right, although we will be adjusting them. Still looks like he's floating a bit. Let's see if I picked up some damage there. No, I'm alright. Just running wide. just teetering on the edge of grip all the way through there, it really is. So gradually starting to settle down the tyre pressures. Definitely starting to overheat that front tyre, front left tyre. Just slow down too much. It's going to ruin the lap.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Just cost us a few tenths really. And I think the other driver in front is probably going to cost us the same amount of time, to be honest. So tyre pressure wise, they sort of peaked a little bit and then dropped off again, which was quite good after a couple of laps. One thing I think the Aston always suffers with is the amount of camber that you can add. It's very low on camber. Just feels like you're losing front grip all the time. So just going to add some more camber to the front. A little bit of understeer kicking in at a few corners, and just that rear grip. I tend to think that it's all about downforce at Zandvoort, and you see we go from 1.8 at the rear. Of the front aero variation is plus 1.8, and if we add more downforce at the rear wing, because I don't think we have the option to add the front splitter, there isn't one, and just increasing the front ride height doesn't really do anything for us. So to get back to that 1.7, 1.8, you need to start raising the whole car. So it's very hard. The higher the car, the higher the centre of gravity, so the less it's going to handle well. But then you started adding the downforce, so it's a bit of an issue there, I think. So you can add more wing. You can sort of start adding, trying to get the car as low as we can without it scraping, but still getting that 1.2, 1.6. We're using less downforce, but still getting a similar effect on the front aero. So let's have a little look at how that performs. So hopefully we're going to get less straight line drag, but just as much cornering ability. But in all fairness, I just think if you start reducing downforce, it reduces downforce all around, not just at the rear of the car. So much heavier through the wheel, much more detail I think comes through as well. Hear the car just clattering there. And with lots of understeer. Oh, too much there. Took a little bit too much of that curb, really. Whoa. Nope. Let's just have another go at that. I don't particularly think it's better. I didn't particularly see any increases in how the car felt. Doesn't particularly feel better as a driver. This is where we're sort of hoping to see some benefit from reducing the downforce, and there wasn't any really. So it's all about the brake pedal through there and here. Just being smooth coming off the brake pedal. And smooth applying the pedal and getting back on the power just at the right point as the car is rotating. Just a bit of understeer kicking in, but we've reduced the downforce, so where you would think we'd see time, we're just not seeing it. that time lost. Wouldn't particularly call that a win, really. Just doesn't feel faster. So let's return back to the garage on that one. Still doesn't feel faster to me. Just adjusting these tyre pressures, trying to hit that 27.5 region. And you can see we don't really get much difference in camber angles across the tyre. But yeah, changing the aero balance and decreasing the rear wing, I think affects the whole range of downforce. So let's try adding the rear wing and raising the car's ride height somewhere around there. Still in the 1.5, 1.7 sort of region. But we've increased overall downforce, not just at the rear. I think it's irrelevant that you're adding rear wing, raising the ride height. I think overall it increases downforce. It just changes the rotation of the car, the rake, how much it rotates. So we may need to mess about with that a bit. You see it was at 1.5. So we're getting far more rotation there. And too much rotation there. And again, we're all drifting and everything around here. So as much as we've increased downforce, it's increased rotation. Let's wait to get some temperature in the tyres to build a better opinion of what's happened. People do say I make changes too quickly, but it often feels it's just how I feel. So there's not much in it already really, time wise. Fingers crossed the first part's recorded. So let's just carry on. Just lost my train of thought now. So yeah, lots of oversteer initially with that change. Let's go for another lap. Yeah, it doesn't feel nicely balanced at the minute. Yeah. Oh, it's just throwing a car around. That's when I just know it's just not right. I don't need to do another 10 laps to get the tyres warm. Just doesn't feel right at all. So let's start lowering that down to reduce the rotation. So initially we started at 1.8 front variation, but because the balance of the car is changing, just lower that down. Can we get out in front of this row of traffic? Don't think so. Ooh.
Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the left.
Oh, come on.
Clear on the left.
Just put me in the wall. So I want to see the benefits of that added downforce. At the minute, it just feels like a negative. Definitely feels better. I still wouldn't say perfect. Just a little bit out of shape on the exit, really. All out of shape there. Try one more lap. All over the place. Yep, just still not that rear grip, so let's carry on bringing it down a touch. I think we can close out that rear duct just a tiny bit. Seems to be still not getting the temperature in the rear. But maybe we're lacking more mechanical grip. Maybe start adding a little bit more rear camber at the rear, softening out the suspension, anti-roll bar. See how that feels when the tyres are a bit warmer. Just keep getting a little kick through there. Just like a little bounce. Not really a good line at all. Yeah, it just feels horrible. So let's go back to this. 72. Must have been around there somewhere. So we've sort of put it back to where it was then initially. And we're going to look at the mechanical grip. Let's try and increase mechanical grip. Maybe there wasn't a great deal wrong with how the car's originally set up. And adding more downforce doesn't really help. Taking it away didn't really help. Maybe it's a mechanical grip. Oh, definitely a bit of understeer there. Just like I'm putting too much power down. I really didn't think I am. So I'm not really altering much, just a car that's altered. Too early. I'll lose it all through here, I think. Lost it all there, just that one corner. So you can see anyway, the first portion of the lap, increasing mechanical grip was definitely a way to go. Not had a good run in today yet. and not had a good exit. Doesn't particularly bode well through the second part of the circuit. Just bogged down there really. Just carry too much speed through there and just get that weird kick. Oh, just picked up. So we're just getting a little bit too much temperature through them front ones since closing that out. Let's just try and add a little bit more rear cornering grip and just soften out. Let's just go 10-10. Soften out the fast bump. Just seems to be bouncing the car a little bit. And just drop one more rotation. Couple of changes there really. We'll wait for number 27 to go past. So yeah, just on that final exit on this last corner, I'd just like to, as soon as you start seeing the marbles, just lift and then bang back on the power. Just seems to allow you to carry more speed flat out through that last corner. And through this one it seems to be like a late shift of sort of braking and then a later shift rather than an initial shift. Now, a little bump through that corner is just affecting the car a bit. That's a wait. Wait for 107 again now. Maybe I just increased. Yeah, maybe I did that too eagerly. Just put that rotation back in there. I know we're trying to soften out that rear end, but obviously we're losing the front end. Try and get out before the rest of this pack. So it seems much better through this section. But just that little bump. Might need to just lift that front end one click. Just getting the power down coming out of there is the problem, I think. Not get too ecstatic because we've had 2.8 through there. So it wasn't the neatest. And lost so much through that last sector. I think we're alright with tyre pressures. Let's just loosen that. Usually you try and get that yellow all the way down so it's sort of resting on the bump stop, so we'll give that a whirl as well. Certainly not far away off pole position, but it's not really the goal. 135 is the goal. That bump's a bit of an issue, but maybe that solved it. Just want to carry more speed through there. gonna catch these. Felt much better. Doesn't show it, but it did. All out of shape. I do wonder whether it's just understeering now, as much as we're losing time. Just going to try and let them go a bit. Just doesn't feel nice at all. No. So we just decreased that. Let's just add 2 more back to that. Softened out that. Let's just soften the anti-roll bar at the front, just to try and reduce a little bit of understeer. We're nearly at the 10-minute mark. Still not happy with this setup at all. I'm really not sure where. Feels like a lot of places. See it just looking like it's getting sideways, just feels like there's no grip under acceleration. And it always feels like we're understeering into that section. Just on the acceleration. Still missing something. Let's just increase that. Typical values that we would see. Five more minutes to go. Well, it just feels instant understeer, but that's pretty much what I've done really. But you never know, we're setting up. You never know, making some adjustments can have the best effects ever. terrible. Lost it all on the exit. Tiny bit of slip. It's so smooth. Just look at it. Feels faster, not delivering the lap time. Just through little errors. Oh dear. So there we have it, an hour's worth of setting the car up. A 136.2. Pretty much more than half a second off what I'm capable in the Ferrari, so a bit of an inconclusive setup, to be fair. Definitely room for improvement. Obviously, you could see from the last lap, there's definitely time in the setup. It's just trying to put it together, really. Definitely consistent low 136s on a 50 litre tank. It's not the most, well, it's definitely not the best setup, is it? We'll be hitting 135s. But it just feels like, especially through this section, the rear end's just not planted enough. It's just losing mechanical grip. But yeah, that was the setup. I wanted to try and put a setup together. I spent time on this yesterday, and I did want to leave you with at least some sort of setup. So I guess that's it. We'll quickly return to the garage. We'll save the setup. I don't think the 136-100 was far from that. I think I'm happier. I'll delete that even. I think I was happier with the setup we've just created, but there's still room for improvement. I'll just quickly glance over the setup. If you've missed it, you can deal with it as you will. And there we go. thanks for watching another probably a long video. Until the next time I get a chance to do another video, ciao for now.